Hello, everyone. Welcome to Action Coaches Why Leads Are the Last Thing We Should Focus On. So, thank you for joining us today. I really appreciate it. And let's get started. So, first of all, if you don't know who I am, look me up on LinkedIn. I am a certified business coach, certified executive coach, NLP practitioner, best-selling author, speaker, and veteran of the United States Army. Sit on a bunch of boards and other good stuff. And thank you for investing your time with me today. So this is a list of all the events we're going to be doing for the next month through July. And they'll be all on this platform, which is Whereby. And you just click the link and you'll be there. So my job is to, if I give a person a fish, you feed them for a day. My job is to feed you for a lifetime with this knowledge. So, owner above the line and below the line. When we take ownership, accountability, and responsibility for everything that happens in our business and our life, then we have the or to get us where we want to go. Or you blame, excuses, denial, might as well stay in bed. Results? Nothing. When we look at our actions, behavior, and decisions, has any of you ever wanted to change your actions, behavior, or decisions? Guess what? You can't, because they're a result. They're a result of what's below the line, which is our skills, beliefs, values, and identity. So if we want to change our future actions, behavior, and decisions, we need to change what's below the waterline, which is our skills, beliefs, values, identity. Now, of those, which is the easiest to change?
Scales.
Skills, that's right. And that's what we're going to be focused on today. So, formula for change. If you or your business is not changing, this is the formula to figure out why. And my engineering background comes out here because I love formulas. Dissatisfaction. If you're not dissatisfied with where you're at and have a vision of where you want to go, if either one of those is zero, guess what? The product is zero. Then you must be willing to take the first steps, and that must be greater than resistance to change. And everybody is resistant to change. It's Newton's law. A body in motion will stay in motion. A body at rest will stay at rest unless affected by a greater force. So if you or your business is not changing, consider what is not strong enough, your dissatisfaction of where you're at or the vision of where you want to go. And to get the most out of learning, when we say or think this, which is I know, what happens? Our brain shuts down. It's a chemical reaction in our subconscious mind that says, I already know that. We start taking input in from everywhere else. So instead of saying or thinking, I know, what do? Isn't that interesting? That's right. You can almost feel your brain change. So as we're having communication with other people and we're doing our interactions, instead of saying or thinking, I know, isn't that interesting? And you'll be able to accept the input. Make sense? Okay, and we got to be willing to have some fun because we learn best when we're having fun. And get ready for some BFOs, blinding flashes of the obvious. That's that aha moment. So, is your business driving you, or are you driving your business? This is what we're going to talk a little bit about today. So, what is a successful business? It is a commercial, profitable enterprise that works without you. If that's what you're looking for, you're in the right place. So, how do we get there? First of all, mastery. That's the foundation of your business. That's time, destination, delivery, and money. And then we get to niche, which is target market, unique selling proposition, guarantee. This is where you do your 10 by 10 marketing, your tactical marketing, and your sales training. And then we get to leverage. That's where we start systemizing the business. Everything from your marketing, your sales, your operations, your recruiting, your hiring, your firing, your financials, your bookkeeping. Everything should be systemized and documented. Then we put the team together, synergy. You move from a profit and loss focus to a valuation focus so we can look at selling the business. I recommend always think about selling it because the only reason to start a business is to sell it. Robert Kiyosaki. So, commercial, profitable, that works without you. 4 areas of mastery, we talked about that. Time, money, delivery, and destination. We're going to focus a little bit on money today. You must know your numbers. If you watch The Profit or any of the other shows, you've got to know your numbers, both your old historic numbers and the numbers of where you want to get to. Too many business owners don't make the right decisions because they don't know their numbers. You can't manage what you don't measure, which is profit, cash flow, budgets, balance sheet, etc. Know your ratios. And both your numbers and your KPIs, your key performance indicators on how to get to your goals. And this is both accounting numbers and your marketing numbers. Every piece of marketing is math. If you test and measure, every dollar you spend on marketing should get you at least $3 back. So, everyone should be familiar with what your fixed costs are. And then what are your expenses? And then your total expenses. That's the yellow line. Now, a revenue is the blue line. And the most important number that we have is this one right here. That's your break-even point. If you don't know your break-even point, call me so we can figure it out. That is the most important number to know, because until you hit that, you don't make profit. And then we need to know our max utilization number. Max utilization number is the number of where you cannot make any more money until you add resources. If you don't know these numbers, please set up an appointment with me and let's figure them out for you. So the key to money mastery is budgeting and reporting. If you do not have a cash flow spreadsheet that you're managing at least on a weekly basis, call me up. I'll be happy to send you the spreadsheet and work it through with you. If you have an accountant, talk to your accountant about putting it together. And if you've gotten a PPP loan or an EIDL loan, you need to be watching this. This is a key success factor for any business. Cash is king. So if you don't have this spreadsheet or a tool, give me a ring, set up an appointment, and I'll send it out to you. Okay? So a lot of businesses, Dana, yours would include this, is a cash flow gap. So you buy stuff, you have it in inventory, you bill your client, you do a net 30. That means you've got a cash gap of at least 30 days, probably closer to 60. One of the key things is minimizing this cash gap. And I've got about 20 different strategies to minimize your cash gap. Okay? So, a couple of books that I strongly recommend. Financial Intelligence by Karen Birdman. Write these down if you haven't read them. How to Read a Financial Report by John Tracy, and How to Manage Profit and Cash Flow by John Tracy. These are easy, non-financial books for financial books for the non-financial person. You don't need an MBA to read this. Okay, so your homework. Calculate your break-even point. Calculate out your cash flow. Do that in the next couple of weeks. You get stuck, call me up. Okay? Now, let's look at some numbers. So, a lot of my clients, when they start working with me, know how many customers they have, or how much revenue they have, or how much profit they make. Well, those are all results. That's not what you can actually affect. Can I get more? I want more customers. Well, you can't get more customers. You've got to get more leads times conversion rate. Same thing with revenue. It's number of customers times the number of transactions times your average sale gives you revenue. Revenue times margin is profits. So you need to focus on those 5 things, which is leads, conversion rate, number of transactions, average dollar sale, and margin. This make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what does some numbers look like? Let's say we've got 4,000 leads, a conversion rate of 25%. That gives you 1,000 customers. 1,000 customers times 2 transactions a year times an average dollar sale of $1,000 gives you a revenue of $2 million. 25% margin, that gives you 500K net profit. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what happens if we just increase these 5 areas by 10%? Okay. Could you increase your leads by 10% if we focused on it? If you can't, call me up because I got 72 different strategies to do that. How about increasing your conversion rate by 10%? That's going from a 25% conversion rate to a 27.5. That's a little sales training. Number of transactions. Hey, call up every one of your customers you've ever had. How about increasing your average dollar sale? This is cross-selling, upselling, or increasing your prices. Wow, look, our revenue went up from $2 million to almost $3 million. Increase our profit by 10%, which is 27.5%. Look at that. That's a 46% increase in revenue and a 61% increase in profits. Now, most of my clients go, that's fantastic, that's fantastic. Let's go get some more leads. Well, leads are the most expensive thing you can do. The first thing you want to focus on is your margin. So if you're not evaluating your P&L statements every month, figuring out where your expenses are, what's that look like, what's your revenue versus what's your gross profit margin, what's your net profit margin, what are your expenses, that's the fastest way to increase your net profit. And it doesn't cost you money, it just costs you some time. If you don't know your numbers and how to do this, call me up, please. Number 2, easiest is your conversion rate. This is your sales training and your scripting. How many of you have scripts? How many of you don't? How many aren't going to raise your hand no matter what? So, if you haven't been to some sales training, get to some. Most sales training is great. I recommend Question-Based Selling by Thomas Fries. You can look at my YouTube channel, and I've got a course there on that. Typically, doing the sales training and scripting will increase your conversion rate about 30% versus 10%. It'll also decrease your sales cycle time by almost 50%. Isn't that
Interesting.
all right? Average dollar sale is the next thing we should focus on. This is your cross-selling, your upselling, looking at your pricing, doing profit slicing. What's the most profitable products you have, and that's what you should be promoting. If you don't know what your most profitable product or service is, you need to figure that out. And your sales team needs to know that. This is to me, this is the next easiest. Number of transactions is number 4. How often are you talking to your clients and your customers? If you're not touching bases with them at least twice a month, you need to be doing that. You need to be top of mind. You need to be giving them information, helping them. And the last thing we should focus on is leads. Do we know why? Leads are the most expensive thing that is on the list of the 5.
Mm-hmm.
Leads will cost you more money typically than any of those other things to do. The first 4 typically very, very low investment for high return. Leads are typically more expensive to get. And by the way, it costs you 6 times more to get a new client or customer than it does to keep the ones you have. Isn't that
Interesting.
all right? So this is why you focus on leads last. Just for fun, what happens if we doubled everything? Okay, so we go from 4,000 leads to 8,000, to that, to number of transactions from 2 to 4. Double the average dollar sale. We go from 2 million to 32 million. And we go to a net profit of 16 million. Now, whatever your numbers are, the ratios stay the same. So what are you going to do with your business? Look, you go from 500, man, just amazing. By just focusing on the right things and break it down, divide to multiply. So make sure you've got a dashboard put together for your business that talks about your growth, your cash flow, your cash gap, forecasting, profit margins, sales KPIs. Every business should have a dashboard. If you're not sure how to put one together, give us a call. Questions? What would you do with that extra money? Vacation? Tahiti? Buy a new car? So, it's not necessary to do extraordinary things to get extraordinary results. Warren Buffett. Focus on those 5 areas of your business. Never wish life were easier. Wish you were better. Work harder on yourself than you do your job. If you're not reading at least one book a month or at least one webinar to increase your skills, you're missing the boat. If you're not sure what book to read, give me a call. I've read over 400 books, and I can recommend what's right for you where you're at this space and time. So 2 directions you can go. You can keep improving the business on your own, or get some help. My job is to help people. And by the way, I've still got 6 slots left this month for free consultation for anyone that's been affected by COVID-19. So in 12 months, I can guarantee you're going to be somewhere. The real question is where? You're going to be where you're at today, or are you going to be somewhere else? So 1 hour complimentary coaching for anybody that was on this call to figure out where you're at, where you want to go, and put a plan in place to get there. Thank you. Be safe. Any questions? Okay, I'm going to stop the